Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, I want to share with you 5 tips for preventing aging in your 30s, 40s, 50s and beyond. I'm now coming into my 37th year here on planet Earth and hurtling towards 40. And there are a couple of things that I've changed up in my skincare routine to prevent the signs of aging themselves and correct any premature aging that's already taken place. That's what I want to share with you in today's video because I think it is never too early nor too late to get some really good anti-aging steps in your skincare routine. Sit back, relax, let's talk some tips for anti-aging. Now, before we get into this video, I always like to issue the big old caveat, and that's to say, whilst we're talking about anti-aging in this video, I'm not anti the aging process itself. Honestly, I think aging is a privilege, and if I look back to my skin in my 20s and early 30s, would I want to go back there? Absolutely not. I'm really proud of the journey that I've been on with my skin, and I honestly think that my skincare routine, as it's developed over time, is delivering me far greater benefit now than it has ever done in the past. I want everybody to be at maximum skin confidence, no matter what their age happens to be, and I think that's a message that's worth getting out there loud and clear. One of the best ways of making sure this message is heard is by reaching down and giving this video a thumbs up and a like. The more likes a video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform, so it's just an amazing way of making sure everyone is aware of our fabulous Mad About Skin family, and for that I'm always so grateful. I've got quite a lot to say and I want to get this short, sharp and to the point, so should we just cut that waffle and delve straight on in? Now, tip number 1 is sunscreen, but not just any old sunscreen. I think over the years, we've all understood or began to understand the importance of sunscreen in our skincare routine. It prevents against cancer, burning, and premature aging. However, it's not just enough to reach for the highest SPF factor, which I think a lot of us have got into the habit of doing. The SPF actually only tells half the story. That indicates the level of protection you're getting against UVB radiation, the ones that burn the skin and could also cause cellular damage. However, there's another type of radiation, UVA rays, which actually cause premature aging in the skin. Very few brands actually advertise the level of protection you're getting against those UVA rays, and so it can be really difficult to tell. You need a truly broad spectrum sunscreen that protects against both UV ray forms to make sure that your skin is adequately covered. So reach for something that's a minimum value of an SPF of 30 to make sure you're getting that UVB protection, but also make sure that it's broad spectrum and the brand actually advertises the level of UVA protection that you're getting. A lot of countries and regulators have kind of taken the mystery out of that. If you're here in the UK, you're in the European Union, or if you're in Australia or New Zealand, there is a minimum legal requirement in terms of UVA protection on all SPF. So that's really important. It kind of gives us a baseline of coverage. However, if you're in the US, it's much more open in terms of interpretation of any regulations, and a lot of brands will claim to be broad spectrum when really, by European or Australian standards, they're not. Make sure you're reaching for a sunscreen that's truly open and transparent about the level of UVA protection they're giving. Some of my favourites are these. This is the beauty of Joseon Rice Relief Sunscreen that released all of their data and testing has shown it's delivering a UVA rating of a PA 4+, which is the highest rating you can get. The Ultris Dermatologist Face Fluid SPF 30 is one of my holy grails. They even put it on the box in terms of the level of PPD protection you're getting. 39, which is one of the highest on the market in terms of UVA protection. And finally, La Roche-Posay Anthelios. This Anthelios UV Immune Protection range offers sky-high and really long wavelength protection against UVA radiation, and I would recommend all 3 of these, which are linked in the description box below. Tip number 2 also concerns protecting the skin. So you've already got your broad spectrum sunscreen sorted and locked in, but the level of protection that's given against free radicals is fairly limited. Free radicals are things such as particulate matter, pollution, blue light, and other wavelengths of light that hit our skin day in, day out and stress it out. This causing oxidative stress actually can lead to premature aging because it can break apart collagen in the skin and it can trigger hyperpigmentation. So alongside your sunscreen, you should also have a really good antioxidant. My top tip is mix up your antioxidants. Don't just rely on one, but have multiple different ones in your skincare routine to protect against all those free radicals and that oxidative stress. Some of my favourites are these. This is the Mad About Skin Got You Covered Super Serum, which has my favourite antioxidant in it, coenzyme Q10. Q10 is amazing because not only does it protect against free radicals, it's also the energy your skin needs to be at tip-top health. The Survival Zero by Neod is one of my favourites because this has a comprehensive blend of 15 different antioxidants, so it kind of covers all of your bases. It commands a slightly higher price point, but totally worth it for protection you're getting. Then finally we've got vitamin C's. Vitamin C will brighten the skin, but it's also a potent antioxidant. This is the ordinary ethylated ascorbic acid 15%, which is a really good vitamin C if you're looking to even out the complexion, brighten the skin, but also provide some antioxidant protection. Now, tip number 3 is never neglect your peptides. I think peptides, well, there's two different camps when it comes to peptides in skincare. Those, and I'm in this camp, that absolutely adore them, fangirl about them all the time, and say they're a must-have in your skincare routine. There are also those that like peptide skeptics, the ones that say, you know, how much data is there to back up how effective they can be? Are they really that effectively absorbed into the skin? I can kind of see things from both sides, but for me, just based on my own anecdotal experience with peptides, they've been transformative in terms of my anti-aging skincare routine. Different peptides do different things. You need to bear that in mind. I broke apart how they work and some of the benefits in a recent video that I'm going to leave a link to up there. But I definitely think peptides have a key role in your anti-aging skincare routine as they can hydrate the skin, offsetting any dryness that always seems to be exacerbated the older we get. They could also even out the skin tone, help to tackle hyperpigmentation, and they can boost collagen and elastin levels in the skin to make sure that we minimize the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. All these are key benefits, and I say if you're worried about like which peptide to reach for, just go for a blend. I personally mix these two together, which is the ordinary matrixyl and the ordinary Aduraline solution. Together, these are like a powerful, like perfect pairing when it comes to anti-aging, and I explain the reasons behind that in a video, which again is linked up there. If you want to keep it super simple though, and you want to go for a pre-mixed formulation, I recommend all the time the ordinary buffet. Now, what's also equally as amazing about this, at the moment, 40% off. They're changing the name and doing a bit of a rebranding, so they're shifting the old stock. So if you're an absolute devotee when it comes to the ordinary buffet and you want to save yourself 40%, which honestly is an amazing saving, I've left a link in the description box below as to where you can buy it. Get yourself 40% off and stock up while you can. It's one of my favourite blends of different peptides. It also includes the Aduraline and the matrixyl that I referenced earlier. Super simple and definitely one that will add some anti-aging benefit to your routine. My tip number 4 for really effective anti-aging is match the retinoid that you choose to your individual skin type. So hopefully most of you guys out there will have a retinoid in your skincare routine, but they come in various different forms. Whilst they're all vitamin A derivatives, they have different concentrations, different strengths. They need to go through different conversions to get to where they need to be to provide that great anti-aging benefit. Because this can all seem a little bit overwhelming, you'll often hear a lot of people saying, you know what, retin A, tretinoin is the gold standard, use that and forget about the rest. Now, this myth that it is the gold standard and therefore the only thing that you should be using leads a lot of people to reach for it and persevere through the intense redness, peeling and irritation that in some cases never goes away. And then they blame their own skin if it just doesn't work out for them. Tretinoin, retin A, is a wonderful, potent anti-aging retinoid, and absolutely one that I would recommend, but it's not right for everyone. I tried and I persevered with it, but after 6 months, there was just no letting up on that irritation, and I thought this just isn't the right product for me. So I worked with my dermatologist alongside some other options and decided to mix my Differin, which helps fight my adult acne, with this, which is retinal. Now, retinal is actually one of the most potent over-the-counter retinoids that you can find, and I've got far better results with this than I ever got with tretinoin. So it's all about matching the retinoid that you choose to your individual skin type. If you have zero sensitivity and you can tolerate tretinoin, retin A, then absolutely reach for it. It could be a holy grail in terms of anti-aging. But for people that don't have the time or the capacity to get a prescription for it, or their skin just can't tolerate it, there are other options on the market. So don't feel that it's tretinoin or nothing. Explore the market and find the right retinoid that matches your individual skin's needs. Now, tip number 5 is get a little urea action in your skincare routine. Now, I admit, urea is one of the least sexy ingredients in skincare, which is why it's always overlooked. But it's one of my favourites, because as we age, we often complain that our skin becomes a little bit more textured, a bit more rough. We lose some of that softness that we associate with youth and vitality, and somehow, as we age, our skin just becomes a little bit rougher, or in some cases, people describe it as leathery, which I think is the most unfortunate term ever. But you don't have to lose that softness, that suppleness as you age. You can use a lot of of ingredients to kind of maintain that. One of the best ones out there is urea. So urea is a humectant, which means it draws in and retains moisture in itself, great for offsetting any dryness and dehydration that you have. But it's also a protein softener. So we have proteins in our skin that can become hardened over time. If you use urea on a consistent basis, it'll soften these down, which will just smooth everything out and give you that soft, supple skin back that maybe we had in our 20s. I definitely noticed this change in my skin, and since introducing urea, I kind of feel like I've reversed that. To the touch, the skin feels far softer than it ever was, and that's definitely something that I think is the biggest change that I've achieved in my recent skincare routines. Urea comes in many different concentrations. If you've got a very resilient skin type with no sensitivity, you could go for a 10% concentration for maximum results. The one by Ultrist is one of my absolute favourites. If you've got a little bit of underlying sensitivity, you might want to pare it back and go for a 5% concentration, which I find is the one that works best for me. When I formulated my own moisturiser, which is this, the Mad About Skin Maximum Impact Moisturiser, I included urea in a 5% concentration in this because I just know it was delivering so many great benefits for my skin. A lot of brands now formulate with that 5% concentration that I think is the sweet spot, so you don't need to shop my moisturiser. There are so many other options available, and I'll leave a link to this alongside some of my other recommendations in the description box below. But I'd say, if you feel that your skin has become a little bit more textured, a little less soft as you've aged, urea could reverse that. And honestly, it's so quick to act, you can reverse all of that in about 2 to 3 weeks with a good urea treatment, so definitely one to keep your eye out for. So there you have it, guys, a rundown of my 5 tips for preventing premature aging as we come to our 30s, 40s, 50s and beyond. I would love to know any ingredients, products or other tips that you would like to throw into this mix, so sound off in the comment section below. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well and love your skin. Take care. Bye.